When you see them jump, that's good.
That's good. Jumping is
Crash
good.
bad, jump good.
Okay, I've got it. I think we've got it.
Write that down, Ian. But we've got our next driver. He's only 16 years of age.
Yeah, youngest on the grid so far this weekend, Dave, is Itay Sadeh from Israel. The 46 BMW 2JZ, and the laser focus concentration inside that car for that young man. We got a little shy, a little shallow on outside zone 1, but now looks for outside zone 2, gets in it, fulfills it, stays wide, looks to dial on the angle through that inner clipping zone, gets it done, dials it across the circuit, nice and wide and outside zone 4, looks for that transition. Now, handbraked before it, and that shallowed him up for outside zone 5. Back on the throttle he goes, looks at that final outside zone, dials on the angle across the line, job done for Itay.
You know what, 16 years of age, this is a big step. You know, it's a young guy. We've watched a couple of youngsters come through in the past, and it's always fun to see. I always feel that they have a lack of fear, maybe due to the fact that they are, you know, they haven't. I mean, you remember when you were a kid, oh, I'm going to jump off that, I'm going to climb that tree.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking, oh, it's a bit high.
Yeah.
But these kids, the more they get, they learn so fast, they're like a sponge. And I think for Itay, even just being around the level of drivers we have in this championship all the way through, so he's going to learn so much about car setup, about driving style, you know, practice with all these guys is going to, you know, accelerate his growth in the sport so much faster. Not quite the finished article just yet.
No.
But, you know, he's only 16, obviously. When I was 16, I couldn't parallel park. You know what I mean? So this is a big step in the right direction. And amazing to see people, you know, we had Ali Mashid from Kuwait compete at the last round. We now have Itay from Israel. So yes, it is the European Championship, but we're expanding a little bit every time.
We're open doors, Dave.
We are open doors. So you want to come here from, you know, the Dominican Republic or Canada or Japan, everyone's welcome. Itay Sadeh from Israel scores a... We don't know if they're going to make it back.
They're going to make it back.
And Cali Robin-Perra coming up a lot quicker than Dwayne McKeever is, because he's currently leading the championship. Here we go. We're back in action here as Itay Sadeh from Israel takes to a very wet circuit. Expect thrills and spills from here.
Yeah, this one's going to be tentative. You can imagine now Itay is just going to play this one safe, try and keep himself out of danger. He scored a 61 in his first qualifying run. We know the cut-off is still 70 at the moment. We are back in action live here at round 3 of the Drift Masters European Championship 2023. Well, what can Itay Sadeh do? As I mentioned, it's going to be difficult now to improve on these scores, especially in these weather conditions, but these drivers that can adapt, they will be rewarded. Goes for that transition, wheels over, will be a little bit lenient on that curb, doesn't get to the wall, keeps it safe on the foot brake across the line. Itay Sadeh, the Israeli driver, job done, and the first driver in the wet to put down a qualifying run.
Well, I think the big thing here is, can you improve on your score in these conditions if you haven't already got a good score on the board?
Yeah.
And that's the question. You look at Itay, he's on a 61 in the dry. He's coming out here in the wet. This is really good at the start of this run. Gets to the edge of the circuit, does exactly what he needs to do. However, the unpredictability of having to adjust every 2/100ths of a second of what the conditions are means that while he looks good here, he straightens up here, he reinitiates on the handbrake and just doesn't get very wide here. It's kind of on the inside of the track, expecting maybe a bit more wash from the conditions, pardon the pun.
Yeah.
Then he gets up onto the bank, and then at that point, it's not a bad run, it's a good run, but what way will the judges look at it compared to, it's an 80 on the board? And I was just about to say, they have to allow that this is much more difficult conditions.